Now for my favorite part of the show. Well, that's it. Talk to the audience. Oh, God, this is always death.
I identify with Krusty. Talking to the audience. Ugh. Public speaking is mankind's greatest fear. It's very difficult to just get up in front of other people you don't know, whether it's 3 people or 300, and just speak and have coherent thoughts, get your point across, and also get a little bit of yourself out there. Be social and personable so that people can relate to you. It's difficult, but it's worth the effort it takes to get good at it. I'm an introvert. For introverts, who are fairly low percentage of the population, not only is public speaking scary, but it's physically, psychologically draining. It's tough to talk to other people. Not only is there the unknown of how they'll react, but it's tiresome. Interacting with other people just makes you feel like you need to go away and be somewhere alone so that you can recharge. Just sit down with a book or something and get away from all these other people and their weird ideas and feelings. So for introverts, it is a necessity to be able to engage with people and speak to them in a way that they can relate to you and remember you. In the workplace, people expect you to socialize. They expect you to remember their name and ask silly questions like, how was your weekend? Even though they don't really seem to care about the answer, they expect a bland answer like fine or good. They still ask these questions, and it matters to them for some reason. So taking part in these little rituals, even though it seems fake, is important. It's a pointless routine when you get right down to it, but it's not pointless to them because these little social activities, these little white lies they tell, it opens doors for them. It makes them see you as a person, and it makes them think that you are interested in them, which is important to them. As it says in the first chapter of our text, ambition and great ideas aren't enough. You need to be able to communicate with people in order to succeed in business. So no matter how good you are at your job, no matter how suited you are to a position, if you can't interact with people and make them feel comfortable around you and feel that you value their existence, then you're not going to get very far. I started with my current employer as just a drone in the mailroom. It was a mailroom / copy shop, and I was a software guy. So if people had a file that came from a vendor they didn't know how to open, or if they had a document that they needed printed but they hadn't thought about making a cover for it, I would be the one that got creative and made something for them. And if I had just done the job and then gone back to my desk and not interacted with the customers, the end result would have been the same as far as they were concerned. They still got the job done and they got the fancy cover they didn't design, but it wouldn't have opened the doors that I had opened for me. By interacting with the customers, if you will, I built relationships in other departments around the building, in marketing, professional affairs, finance, the vet tech group. I had people in my corner on every floor of the building who proactively would reach out to me and say, hey, there's an opening in e-commerce. And they would talk to the hiring managers when a position became open and said, hey, Ken's really good at this sort of thing. He's great with Excel. He's great with Photoshop. You should talk to Ken. And those opportunities would not have been available to me if I hadn't taken the uncomfortable for me step of interacting with people that I didn't know and building relationships with them. So no matter how friendly and engaging you are at work, though, you still have to have the groundwork. You still need a degree for pretty much any job that's worthwhile. That's why I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree here at Baker, and the rest of you as well. Because no matter how good you are, there's still that glass ceiling above you that you can't break through unless you meet the basic requirements. And for pretty much any worthwhile job, having a bachelor's degree is the basic requirement. And for a lot of jobs, it really doesn't matter what your degree is focused on. And that may seem weird, but the fact that you have completed your degree tells them that you are willing to put in the work over a number of years, doing things that you probably didn't want to do, and having to pay to do something you didn't want to do in order to complete a long-term goal. And a lot of business is about achieving long-term goals. So if you show that you're willing to put in the work, the expense, the effort to accomplish a long-term goal, even though you're seeing nothing but less time and grief in the short term, that proves you to them as someone who's willing to put in the work and who can accomplish tasks without supervision. Now, does that mean it's as easy as get a degree, get a job? No. You still need to be a fit. As it says in chapter 15 of our text, an essential task in your job search is presenting your skills and accomplishments in a way that is relevant to the employer's business challenges. So the fact that you have a degree may mean you're qualified, but to go from being a qualified applicant to someone they really want to hire, you also need to show how your skill set, how your experience, your knowledge applies directly to that company and that position. And that's where it's so important to learn about the position you're applying for. What is expected of someone in that position? What is their company mission? What do they care about as a company? And what do they hope to accomplish as a company? And how does that position promote the ideals of the company? If you know those things, and you have the degree, you meet the basic requirements, and you can show that you understand how that position will drive the company's goals, and you can be personable and respectful and friendly in the interview, you've got an excellent chance of getting that job.